Many of us grow up believing that the path to success is simple. Go to school, get good grades, find a secure job, and work hard until retirement. That is the message of the poor dad in Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But there is another voice, the rich dad, who teaches a different philosophy. Instead of chasing security, he urges us to chase knowledge, to learn how money really works, and to make it serve us. A contrast between these two father figures creates the foundation for the book's timeless lessons. One father represents the conventional mindset of working for money, while the other represents the mindset of having money work for us. This difference changes everything about how we approach wealth and freedom. If you are ready to shift your perspective, remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and share it with others seeking financial wisdom. Kiyosaki explains that financial education is not taught in schools. We learn math, science, and history, but rarely do we learn how to manage, grow, and invest money. This lack of financial education leaves many people trapped in cycles of debt and stress. The poor dad represents this struggle, believing that a paycheck is the ultimate reward. But the rich dad sees income as just a tool, a starting point for building wealth that outlives us. The key principle that Rich Dad teaches is the difference between assets and liabilities. Most people confuse the two, buying things they believe make them richer, when in reality, they drain their pockets. An asset puts money in our pocket. A liability takes money out. Wealth is not measured by income alone, but by how many assets we accumulate that generate income even when we are not working. That is the essence of financial freedom. This lesson challenges the way we see everyday decisions. For example, buying a new car with debt may look like success, but if it costs us monthly payments, insurance, and depreciation, it is a liability. On the other hand, buying a rental property or investing in a business can create cash flow and become an asset. Rich Dad insists that true intelligence is not in how much we earn, but in how wisely we choose what to acquire. Kiyosaki also reveals the trap of the rat race. Many of us work harder, earn more, and yet remain stuck in a cycle of expenses that rise with income. We get promotions, but instead of creating freedom, we buy bigger houses, take on more debt, and feel more pressure. The rat race is endless unless we change our mindset. To escape it, we must stop working only for money and start making money work for us. The rich dad mindset is not about greed, but about freedom. It is about having the choice to live life on our terms. Money becomes a servant, not a master. With assets generating income, we are free to pursue passions, contribute to causes, and spend time with the people we love. Financial freedom is not about luxury, but about the peace of knowing that our future is secure, independent of a paycheck. Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of financial literacy, which means understanding how money flows, how taxes work, how investments grow, and how opportunities are created. Without this knowledge, we become slaves to jobs and systems designed to keep us working endlessly. With it, we become creators of wealth, innovators, and leaders of our financial destiny. The Rich Dad path is about learning constantly, asking better questions, and daring to make smarter choices. One of the most powerful takeaways is that fear and desire control most financial decisions. Poor Dad lets fear of losing money dictate choices, avoiding risks and staying safe in the comfort of a paycheck. Rich Dad teaches that fear must be faced, not avoided. Taking calculated risks is the path to growth. Instead of running from mistakes, we learn from them, building resilience and confidence. Fear becomes a teacher, not a prison guard. Rich Dad also warns about desire, the urge to spend more when we earn more. Desire makes us chase luxuries to impress others, while assets are ignored. He encourages us to delay gratification, to reinvest profits, and to strengthen our financial foundation. True wealth is not about appearances, but about independence. By mastering both fear and desire, we break the chains that keep us financially limited and move toward lasting abundance. Kiyosaki urges us to think differently about work itself. Instead of working only for wages, we can work to learn. We can seek jobs or opportunities that teach us skills like sales, leadership, investing, and communication. These skills pay dividends far beyond any paycheck. Rich Dad's advice is clear. Focus less on job titles and more on developing abilities that expand our value. When we grow, our earning power multiplies. This mindset requires courage. It means stepping out of comfort zones and confronting the unknown. It means being willing to fail, to experiment, and to explore. Poor Dad seeks safety. Rich Dad seeks growth. One path leads to dependence, the other to independence. And in every decision, we are choosing which father to listen to. The future we build depends on which voice we allow to guide our financial journey. The book also highlights the importance of taking control of our time. When we work for money, our time is owned by others. When money works for us, our time becomes ours again. That is the true definition of wealth, not just having more things, but having more time to live fully. Rich Dad reminds us that life is too short to trade every hour for a paycheck. We must learn to build systems that free us. Rich Dad stresses that opportunities are everywhere, but most people are too afraid or too blind to see them. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" he teaches us to ask, "How can I afford this?" This shift transforms obstacles into challenges and problems into possibilities. When we train our minds to search for solutions, we discover that wealth is less about luck and more about mindset, creativity, and persistence in taking action. The book explains that taxes and corporations are tools that the rich understand and use to their advantage. While Poor Dad sees taxes as an unavoidable burden, Rich Dad shows how financial intelligence allows us to navigate the system legally and strategically. By learning how businesses, investments, and laws work, we stop being victims of the system and start playing the game at a higher level. Knowledge creates power, and applied knowledge creates freedom. Kiyosaki also insists that money alone will not make us rich. Financial education will. Lottery winners, athletes, or celebrities often lose fortunes because they never built the skills to manage wealth. Rich Dad teaches that true security comes from what we know, not what we own. Skills, mindset, and discipline cannot be taken away from us. Once we develop them, they generate wealth repeatedly, in any circumstance, through any challenge, across a lifetime. Another critical lesson is about taking action. Many people dream of wealth, but never move forward because they are waiting for the right time. Rich Dad explains that the right time never comes. It must be created. Success belongs to those who take small steps consistently, who learn by doing, and who treat mistakes as teachers. Financial freedom is not won by waiting, but by moving, adjusting, and persisting until opportunities bear fruit. He also points out the importance of surrounding ourselves with the right people. Poor Dad believes in going alone, relying only on personal effort. Rich Dad believes in building networks, learning from mentors, and collaborating with those who think bigger. The people we surround ourselves with shape our mindset. If we stay with those who complain and limit themselves, we shrink. If we connect with dreamers and builders, we expand into our highest potential. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not about becoming greedy or obsessed with wealth. It is about becoming free, so we can live with purpose and contribute meaningfully to others. Kiyosaki emphasizes that money is only a tool. It magnifies who we already are. If we are generous, wealth allows us to give more. If we are driven, wealth allows us to build more. The goal is not riches alone, but the freedom to live fully. Kiyosaki also warns us about excuses. Many people say, "I'm not good with money," or "I can't take risks." Rich Dad counters that these are not truths, but habits of thinking. By changing our mindset, we change our destiny. Each of us can learn, grow, and master financial literacy. Excuses keep us trapped. Action sets us free. The journey may not be easy, but the reward of freedom is worth every challenge. The lesson of assets versus liabilities continues to echo throughout the book. Every financial decision should be examined through this lens. Does this put money in my pocket or take money out? By living with this awareness, we avoid traps, build wealth steadily, and create a foundation that lasts. Small, consistent choices accumulate over time into financial independence. Rich Dad proves that wealth is not a mystery. It is a skill set we can master. Another recurring theme is courage. Financial growth requires stepping into the unknown. Many people wait until they feel comfortable, but comfort never comes. Rich Dad teaches that courage comes first, then confidence follows. By daring to take the leap, we open doors that fear would have kept locked forever. Money rewards action, persistence, and vision. When we align these qualities with education, the journey of wealth becomes both possible and inevitable. Rich Dad challenges us to rethink what we teach our children. Instead of only telling them to study hard for jobs, we can show them how to study money, how to invest, and how to think independently. If we pass on financial literacy, we change not only our own future, but the future of generations to come. Wealth built on knowledge does not vanish. It multiplies and becomes a legacy that outlives us. The book closes with a reminder that the choice is always ours. We can listen to the poor dad, who represents fear, security, and limitation, or the rich dad, who represents courage, freedom, and opportunity. Every day, in every decision, we decide which father will shape our lives. The voice we follow determines whether we remain stuck in the rat race or rise to financial independence. The choice is ours to make. Ultimately, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is more than a story. It is a call to action. It urges us to seek financial education, to build assets, to overcome fear, and to embrace the path of freedom. It tells us that wealth is not reserved for the lucky, but available to anyone willing to learn and take action. And if this message inspired you, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share it with others seeking financial independence.